What's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a video game review. And for today, I am going to be talking about Horizon Zero Dawn for the PS4. Plus, at the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about something I like to refer to as Reviewgate that involves this game and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. As you can see, I'm wearing a Zelda t-shirt. It's sort of as a way to sort of make a statement, though. So I'm going to get to that to the end, but first let me start off with my review of Horizon Zero Dawn. This is a game I sort of have kept an eye out for a little bit when it was announced, I believe back in 2014, when Guerrilla Games showed off their first game that they worked on outside of the Killzone series. And I will say, at the time, I thought it was impressive. I thought it looked good, but I had my concerns, and a lot of it had to do with Sony's exclusives. And let me explain, though. Before Bloodborne came out, though, Sony's exclusives so far for the PS4 at that time was sort of mostly a miss. Not all of them were a hit, though. Knack, good game, though. I'm a big fan of 3D platformers, so I do like that game, but it wasn't a system seller, and it wasn't a main reason you purchased a PS4. Killzone Shadow Falls, which, you know, developed by Guerrilla Games, was okay. It wasn't great. For me, it wasn't. It was okay, though. Driver's Club got off to the worst possible start, and that was the game didn't even function and worked. Eventually, they patched it up and fixed a lot of the problem, but that certainly did a lot of damage to that game, that reputation of that game, though. And then, of course, we had the Order 1886 debacle, which we all know how that played out. So it wasn't really until Bloodborne came out that really pushed the exclusives for Sony. And I think since then, Sony has done a better job with their exclusives for their PS4. And Horizon Zero Dawn is definitely one of their, in my opinion, one of my favorite exclusives they've put out so far for the PlayStation 4. And it is a good game, even though there are some flaws, minor flaws, I would like to point out that I have with it, though. So, why don't we get started with the pros and cons? We will start first with the pros. And first of all, I want to say, visually, the game looks good. Even though I'm playing this on a standard PS4, I don't have a PS4 Pro or anything, it looks nice. I mean, the visuals of it, the character designs, including some of the mechanical beasts, look really, really good. I love the visuals in the game. I love the little details to some of the grass and the art style, though. So from a visuals perspective, though, I have to say it looks really good, even on a standard PS4. The next one, of course, is the story, and this is the part that kind of hooks me into the game, though. Is the world that Guerrilla Games created. I love this idea that we're in sort of a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has sort of returned to sort of a tribal world and all that after some sort of apocalyptic or some mechanical apocalyptic. So it's basically machines sort of rule the earth. No, not like how it is in the Matrix or Terminator, but you sort of get the idea. But it's that story that hooks me in, and keeps me going, keeps me want to continue playing. And I definitely like the character Aloy, though. She is definitely a interesting female protagonist, if I'm saying the name correctly. So story-wise, it's good. And finally, last but not least, is the gameplay mechanics, though. There is a con to that one, and I'll get to that con in a minute, but I will say it plays well, though. I mean, I love the ability to, to go into hiding in the grass and perform a stealth kill on some of these mechanical creatures, which is pretty neat, though. It's an action. It's an adventure game. It has RPG mechanics, but the combat works perfectly fine, though. Like I said, the stealth works fine. Crafting. So all of these items, though nothing new, all the mechanics in it works very well. So it is a very solid game on that part in terms of the gameplay mechanics. Okay, so we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, I will get to the cons. There are 3 cons I could think of, plus I'm going to give you my thoughts on the whole review issue with with, Horizon Zero Dawn getting a lower score than Breath of the Wild, as I'm calling it, it's Review Gate. This is part 1 of it, but I will get to that. I will explain why I think a lot of people are blowing it out of proportion. So we'll take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our review of Horizon Zero Dawn. I did forget to mention that for those who want to check out gameplay footage of me playing Horizon Zero Dawn, I'll have a link in the description below, or you'll probably see one of the cards up on the top of, of this video. So, but either way, if you want to check out the gameplay, there's a link in the description, or, one of the cards on this video. Alright, so now that we got the pros out of the way, why don't we get to the cons? And there are about 3 cons I could think of. One might make some people's heads turn depending on how you look at it though. So the first one, this is not the one that's going to make the heads turn possibly. So let's start with the first one, and that is that there is no, at least as far as I'm aware of, I could be wrong on this, but as far as I'm aware, there isn't really a lock-on mechanism in the game. Does it hurt the game overall? No, it doesn't hurt the game that there is no lock-on mechanism, but it does get a little annoying when you have to sort of rotate the camera, and you have to sort of, like, if you have a fast-paced enemy coming at you, it is a little annoying to, have to rotate and try to find them very quickly before they attack you again. So, but again, not a huge, doesn't hurt the game overall, it's just annoying though. The next one, and again, depending on how you look at it though, you might think this is controversial or not, and that is scaling some of the buildings and ledges in Horizon Zero Dawn. Well, technically not terrible. Again, not terrible or awkward, because they show you spots where you can climb up and all. They just feel awkward compared to, say, and here comes the controversial part, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where pretty much you could scale pretty much everything in the game. So it does feel a little awkward playing Horizon Zero Dawn when it comes to scaling, like the ruins of a building or a mountain compared to what Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild does. Does it make the game unplayable? Absolutely not. Is it broken? Absolutely not. It's not. You can still scale things in Horizon Zero Dawn. It's just that I just feel it's not nearly as good as how Breath of the Wild is, where basically you could pretty much climb everything in the game. And finally, and this will also apply to Breath of the Wild as well, is the fact that while the game mechanics in the game, such as the crafting, the combat, and all, are done very well in the game, don't get me wrong, it doesn't make the game broken or anything, they're all executed well. It's just that it comes off as that it doesn't offer anything new in terms of gameplay mechanics. So they're done well, but don't expect that this is going to change the way you play video games. The crafting system is something that, has been used in other games before. Fast traveling, stealth mechanics. So it's not, it's not terrible or anything like that. But it's nothing new that hasn't been seen in other video games before. Overall, Horizon Zero Dawn is not going to revolutionize or change the way you play video games or anything like that though. And again, it doesn't do anything new that hasn't been done in other video games before, as I said. But the story and the world that Guerrilla Games has created is what keeps me going to continue to play the game. And I'm very fascinated, and I love the world that Guerrilla Games has made. And I would love to see more of Horizon Zero Dawn, a sequel, more of exploring this world that they have created, that Guerrilla Games did. I also want to give credit to Guerrilla Games for doing something different outside of Killzone Shadowfall. Not that I'm saying they should abandon that series, but it's nice to see a developer sort of take a break from that and do something completely different. And I hope other developers will do that as well. I hope, I know this may be a long shot, but I'm hoping companies like Treyarch can do something different outside of constantly doing a Call of Duty game every once in a while. I mean, for crying out loud, give that series a break. Give that a little bit of a break. But overall, Horizon Zero Dawn is definitely now becoming a personal favorite of mine on the PS4, and definitely I'm looking forward to putting that on my top 10 list for top 10 PS4 games of 2017. Okay, before I end this video, I do want to talk about something I like to refer to as ReviewGate. BearNutHugger29 talked about this a little bit, not the name ReviewGate, but talked about this issue. I'll have a link in the description. And that is, lately there have been some people that have been pretty upset over the fact that Zelda Breath of the Wild has scored higher than Horizon Zero Dawn. This led to some people accusing Nintendo buying out reviews, to some even going as far as trolling and trying to drive down the user score, trying to put negative reviews on the game, though. And I have to say is this. Who cares? Just because something scores high on Metacritic doesn't mean that not everything, and let me put it this way, not everything that scores high on Metacritic becomes a success. It's the same thing with Rotten Tomato as well. Just because something scores high doesn't automatically mean it's going to be a success right away. Look at Star Trek Beyond. That was certified fresh on Rotten Tomato, yet that didn't perform. Look at Suicide Squad. That was declared rotten by Rotten Tomato, yet that performed well at the box office. The point is that reviews, all Metacritic and Rotten Tomato do is basically give you an idea of what critics and users are saying. That's it. They're not the end-all, tell-all, okay? And it is, I will agree, it is annoying though, when you have companies that advertise their stuff and then use the review score, though. So it is definitely annoying, though. But the truth of the matter is, to make this a big deal, seriously, and then you have the whole biased media argument, though, which I'm very iffy if anybody makes that argument, because it comes off as I'm not taking responsibility. I'm blaming someone else for my stupidity kind of approach. So I just think it's really sad that there are some people that take review scores just way too seriously. I mean, I'm a Zelda fan, as you can tell from my t-shirt right here, though, okay? I've enjoyed the series since Ocarina of Time. I never really got into it until I got a little bit older, though. Majora's Mask is one of my favorite entries in the Zelda series of all time. But even someone like me can still enjoy a game like this, okay? I own both a Nintendo Switch and a PS4, okay? And I like both systems for their own reasons. And I like both Breath of the Wild and this game for their own reasons. So I should consider myself a neutral gamer and all, but I just think it's so amazing and just outrageous that there are people making a big deal over a review score, okay? Now, I'm not saying people who write reviews are always 100% correct all the time. Sometimes their reviews can be a bit off. Other times, there can be a legitimate argument that the person who's reviewing it has never played these type of games before. So there are some legitimate complaints, but sometimes I do feel some people push it way too far. And for those who do push it way too far, if a review score is that important to you, if you feel like it's your duty to drive that game's score down because your game did not get a high score, if that for some reason is important to you, I would have to say is, A, you're pathetic. B, you need to get a life. And C, you need to find a new hobby that doesn't involve books, TVs, video games, or anything else. Because if you're taking review scores too seriously, though, you need to find something else, or you need to find a way to disconnect yourself from the rest of the world if you have a hard time with someone expressing their opinions, though. And I will get to part 2 about of ReviewGate, which will be about the whole situation with Jim Sterling in my Breath of the Wild review on that one. So I will get to that. But I do want to address, the bottom line is this. Horizon Zero Dawn may have not scored higher than Breath of the Wild, but that doesn't mean that the game is terrible by any means. You can enjoy both games. You can enjoy different kinds of games, okay? Alright? And just because a game doesn't score high doesn't mean it's necessarily bad or anything. Try it. If you don't agree, if you think the game should score higher, then you know what? Try the game out and give your opinion. What you like about it, what you don't like about it. It's just, it's just ridiculous that people are taking these review scores way too seriously, okay? I may not agree with it, but it's not something to lose entire sleep over, alright? Alright, this concludes my review of Horizon Zero Dawn for the PS4, along with part 1 of what I like to view as Review Gate, though. And again, these are my opinion, but what are yours? Have you picked up Horizon Zero Dawn yet for the PS4 or the PS4 Pro? Have you not picked it up? Have you enjoyed the game so far? Are you certainly not liking it though? Are you playing on the standard PS4? Are you playing it standard on the PS4 Pro? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Do you have a different take? And what about people making a big deal over the review scores of Breath of the Wild scoring higher than Horizon Zero Dawn? Do you truly believe that there is a biased review for the game, or do you think a lot of people are blowing this way out of proportion and need to sort of chill, like calm down and all? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. I hope you hit the like button, and I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, if you wish to donate to my channel, feel free to do so. I'll have a link in the description of this video. You can do it through PayPal me, or you can do it through Patreon, though. So, and, well, this concludes this video of my video review of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I will see you again next time. Bye!